In this lesson, you'll learn how to set up resources. Setting up your resources helps you keep track of all your equipment and rooms to make sure that they are never double booked. Online booking will also recognize your resources and their availability when searching for time slots for an online booking. To set up your resources, click on the Setup menu. Then click on the Resources icon. To set up my resources, I need to click on the Resources tab up the top. This is where I'll add our equipment or rooms. I'm going to create 2 different resources for my 2 tanning booths, so I'll click New, and I'm going to enter the name of my first resource, which is Tanning Booth 1. You can also enter a description if you want to. I'm also going to enter an abbreviation. And choose a color code for the resource. This color code will be used on appointments to indicate which resource is needed for the appointment. Now I'm going to repeat the same process for Tanning Booth 2. Now I'm finished creating my resources, it's time to create my resource category. I'll go back to the Resource Category tab and click New. I'm going to create a resource category called Tanning. Now that I've entered the name, I need to assign the services, so I'll click on Service. Our available services are shown on the left-hand side. The right-hand side will show the services we've added to this category, and the buttons in the middle of the screen are used to move the resources between the left and right sides. If you need to choose individual services, you can expand the service category by clicking the plus sign and select individual services using the grey tiles. But I'm going to select the entire tanning category and then click Add. Then click Done. A message will appear reminding us to tell Shortcuts which resources will be used for tanning. We'll do that now, so click Done and click on Resources. I'm now going to select the 2 tanning booths and click the Add button. Then click Done. If I expand the tanning category and the resources and services, you can see the resources we have just set up and the services these resources will be used for. We have now finished setting up our tanning resources, so I'll click Done. Now I'll show you how these resources will affect the appointment booking process. I'll click on a time slot and select a client. And I'll book the client in for a full body tan. I'll then be prompted to select which resource I want to use for this service. It will display what is suitable as well as what's currently available. I'll select Tanning Booth 1, then click Done. You can now see the appointment on the appointment book, and you'll notice that there's an orange stripe across the appointment to indicate which piece of equipment will be used for that service. Now I'll show you what would happen if I tried to book another appointment using Tanning Booth 1 in the same time slot. You can see here that a red cross is shown to indicate that Tanning Booth 1 is unavailable at this time. Of course, I would normally click Tanning Booth 2 so that I'm not double booking my equipment, but just to show you what happens, I'm going to select Tanning Booth 1. Now you can see that both of the appointments have turned beige to indicate that there's a double booking. Now that you know how to set up resources, you can use this feature to allocate equipment or rooms to the relevant services.